This is E-Radio.
It is time for Greatness Coaching with Heidi M. And today, oh yes, I like this topic. Quite a serious one. Bullying in the workplace. My boss or colleague is bullying me and I can't lose my job. What can I do and how do I cope? Heidi, hello.
Hello, Eon. Yes, this is indeed, it could be a really big thing in some people's lives. And I'm going to help you with a few answers here and just a few things that you can do to make life easier for yourself. Bullying in the workplace. Bob Sutton is one of the guys that I researched quite a bit, and he speaks of outwitting workplace jerks. So he says that one should answer a few questions for yourself. First and foremost, if you find yourself in a position where you realize, okay, I'm being bullied, how long does it last? If it's 5 minutes when somebody is serving you a cup of coffee or putting something on your desk or discussing a very short thing with you, 5 minutes, you know what? Let it go, right? But if it is your boss and it is day in and day out, month in, month out, you can't live with that. So that you can't let go. So firstly, how long does it last? Secondly, Bob Sutton is fantastic. He says, is it a temporary asshole or a certified asshole? So he says a temporary asshole is somebody who's just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Because he is surrounded or she is surrounded by other bullies. So that person is just temporarily being a bully because they are in the company of bullies. If it's a certified asshole, this means this is the head bully. This is the one who is the ringleader. This is the one that you want to, the one who's actually like that. You know, people who are just like that. So that's the one that is your concern. So you're going to fight the certified assholes, not the temporary ones. You don't have time to waste, right? You can live with it, just get over it, move on with your life. A third thing that you need to gauge is it one person or is it a group? Of course, if it's one person bullying you, it's easy to just, it's easier to just stay out of the person's way. But if it's a group, it makes it so much more serious and so much more complex. And then the last thing that you need to gauge is, in the words of Bob Sutton, how much am I suffering here? Is it a mild irritation? Is it just a little bit here and there? And I'm not really constantly under the impression of being bullied. It's not really making such a big impact on me. If it's a mild thing, you know what? Actually, let it go. I'm going to give you some tips now how to deal with these bullies anyway. But don't invest too much time in this if it's just really mildly irritating you. But if it's really impacting you, then of course you're going to put a whole lot of effort and energy into making this stop. All bullying should be stopped. I'm just saying that your efforts and your energy and your time that you are putting into the stopping of the bullying should be relevant to the seriousness of the situation. So the first thing that you should do is you should really call this person out. Now, you're going to need courage. When you're being bullied, especially if it's a serious thing and it's going on for a while and it's really impacting you negatively. Some people, go into depression. Others even contemplate suicide. Some really then take it out on the people at home. It could be really debilitating. Suffering from anxiety and so on. So you're going to call this person out. You have to pluck up the courage. You have to muster the courage to call this person out. Now, you don't need to do this in a forceful way. You don't need to, and by that I don't mean you should be meek and mild. I mean that you don't have to scream and shout. You don't have to take the tone that the bully is taking. You could just and you should in a very calm way say, I don't like it when you come into my office and saying this, that, or the other to me. I don't like it when you are doing this, that, or the other. I'm also very busy and I don't have time to waste. I would appreciate it if you stay away. I would appreciate it if you do not say that to me again. And if the person says that to you in front of other people, then you give it back to them in front of other people. Right? So you're not going to wait for a quiet moment. Right there in that moment, you are very calmly, in a very calm tone, you're going to say, I do not appreciate you saying this, that, or the other. I do not like it when you do this, that, or the other. Don't be all dramatic because the bully doesn't care about your feelings. See?
Yeah.
So like, you're making me feel like this, that, and that. They don't care. So don't, that is going to put you in, and that's going to disempower you. So keep your power, stay strong, and say it in a quiet, calm voice, but be steady, be firm with it.
Yeah.
All right. So call the person out. Then you need to point out, and this also works very, very well for meetings, what this person is doing. So if there's yelling or swearing or throwing a tantrum, then you need to point that out and leave the room or end the call. So you're going to say, you are swearing and yelling at me. I do not appreciate that. And then you leave. Right? I am not appreciative of your tantrum at the moment. You are embarrassing yourself. I am going to end the call. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So point out what this person is doing. Please stop calling me this, that, or the other, or you are calling me this, that, or the other again. I am not going to put up with it. And then you leave. Right. If this happens in front of other people, I repeat, you also do the calling out and the pointing out in front of other people.
Yeah.
If you are being bullied in emails or texts or any kind of correspondence, you need to keep that correspondence. You need to keep it in case there's going to be legal action. And especially if you don't want to involve management or HR. You know, many people, let me say this, in my research that I've done, it seems to be 50-50 if you should involve HR or not. To my mind, HR is not my friend. I do not want to involve HR. I don't recommend involving HR. I would say keep the correspondence, keep everything that you can, and please don't record conversations. Just now that I'm thinking about this, it's not legal in South Africa to record people's conversations.
Yeah.
Unless they, by accident, get recorded on something else that you were busy recording, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's clever.
So keep the correspondence in case there's going to be something legal that needs to happen. If you are a few people who are being bullied by the same person, then it's going to be much easier. Don't get together and discuss how you are hateful of this person and what a terrible person is. Discuss how you are going to make the behavior stop. stop the bullying behavior, stop. So it's also, you need to pull together and do this in a very adult way. Bullies are emotionally not mature. They don't have a great EQ. So you must have a great EQ. Then that way you're going to outwit the bully. So if it's a few of you, please pull together, bring your stories together, and decide what you are going to do about it. And I would really recommend that the calling out and the pointing out, as we discussed earlier, is a great way to go. And then the final tip that I can give, or let me just also say this, interrupting myself, I always do that. You need to understand that the bully is operating from a place of fear. That's the only way people bully. The only reason is because they're operating from a place of fear. So there's a deep, deep, deep fear in them. They are hurt. It's not that they are just bullies and there's just that side to them. The bully is a symptom of the hurt and the fear they are experiencing. If you can muster the courage, you can just maybe also one day go, what has hurt you, or who has hurt you so much that you need to say these things or do these things? What are you so afraid of that is making you say this and do this? And you'll hear my tone. I'm not aggressive at all. But that is a fact of life. You know, people bully, they act out in this fashion because of fear and or hurt. Now, the last tip I have for dealing with these people, with these bullies, with these assholes, certified assholes, get them to do you a favor. Now, this is called the Benjamin Franklin effect. It's a psychological phenomenon. It's so cool. A person who has already performed a favor for somebody else is more likely to do another favor for that person than if they had received a favor from that person. I'm going to say this again. This is complicated. So, get the bully to do you a favor, because if the bully has already performed a favor for you, he or she is more likely to do you another favor than if you had done them a favor. Isn't that just insane?
Yeah, wow.
You can read up on it as a Benjamin Franklin effect. It's a thing. It exists. It's real. So if you can get this blasted bully to do you a little favor, just a little favor, you're already starting to break through that armor. And who knows? Wouldn't it be funny if you just end up being friends or even just extremely civil to each other? If you can just break through those walls. And you know, I know you don't really particularly want to help the bully, but in helping yourself, you will be helping that person. And you know, what is life if we aren't helping each other, even if it is a former bully?
Yeah. Wow. From foe to friend, eh? Interesting. Heidi,
Yes.
you know, in I've spent a few years in corporate. And not many, but I've seen a lot of bullying going on. And, you know, I always thought that bullying is just something we see and experience in school, because that's where I experienced it. I was the victim there. But what I saw very interesting in the workplace, the bullying is usually coming from females.
Really?
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, well, in my experience, usually it's the boss. Okay, it can be the boss who is male, but usually when you have a group of women working together, then there's some serious, what can I say, bitching going on.
Yes, and women can be very devious. Women can look. You don't want to rather get on the wrong side of a guy. Don't get on the wrong side of the wrong woman. You know. So, but the beauty about this is that we treat male and female bullies exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's and I think with women it's also a lot to do with the women bullying each other and bullying their fellow women, because I think they see that as an easier target. Women falsely, there's this perception that women are the weaker sex, whereas everybody knows that women are actually emotionally and mentally proven to be stronger than men in most cases. So I think that's just because there's that falsehood that some people believe. But be that as it may, a bully is a bully is a bully. And if you just always bear in mind that comes from fear and from being hurt. And some people were hurt when they were babies, and it just only surfaces when they are much, much older.
Yeah.
So who knows what happened to a person? And I honestly tell you, if you just speak in this calm, straightforward tone, look somebody in the eye, and you'll find many, many bullies can't look you in the eye, hey? Because they know they're doing wrong. And you look for that gaze, you catch their gaze, you look at them and you say, what or who has hurt you so much that you have to do this?
Yeah.
I don't understand why you are so fearful. Explain to me.
Yeah.
They will not be able to resist that.
Yeah, you'll probably break through some walls there.
That's it. Call them out, point it out, leave the room or end the phone call. You do not have to listen to this. But I know we're talking here and it's easy for us to talk right now.
Yeah.
It's very easy. When you are sitting there and you are the victim in the workplace and you feel isolated and you feel like there's nobody around to ever help you, and you constantly have that thing of, do I not perhaps deserve this? Maybe I suck so much at this. Maybe I'm just a crap person and I actually do deserve that, because especially after a long time of being bullied, your walls are broken down, your defenses are broken down, you've been diminished as a human being, and then it's easy to sit there and think, oh my goodness, I probably deserve that, or I don't have energy to have courage today, I'm already so broken down, I'm just going to let them speak to me. Don't. You're not alone. Number one, you are not alone. You need to pull up that courage. You need to pull up the courage. And if you can't do it on your own, send me a message on social media. I will help you. I will be there for you. You do not deserve to be bullied. You do not.
Exactly. Absolutely. Lastly, Heidi, I want to ask you, is it okay to confide in a colleague and to tell them about the situation, or maybe they are witnessing the situation? Is it okay to kind of confide in a colleague and sort of get them to help you out of it, or what do you think?
Of course, yes, I would say so. It depends on the relationship that you have with a colleague. It's just that you don't want to open yourself up to further problems, So it depends on your kind of work that you have. It depends on the kind of relationship you have with a colleague. I would just say this: pick the people that you confide in very carefully. You don't want to exacerbate the situation in any way. So pick your people carefully. See if there's somebody who has empathy for you and sympathy for you that you can knock on the door of. But also then don't become needy and make it all their problem, You remember, you are ultimately the one who has to fight your own battles. and see also that you have support at home. And I'm very lucky with all the support I have in my life, in my work, and from my family and friends. But I do well realize that not everybody is that lucky. But please pick your people carefully. Just pick your people carefully. Work is always firstly work before it becomes a place where you can discuss your feelings. Remember that. By that, I don't mean that it's not okay. I'm just saying, just be careful that you don't make it worse.
Exactly. Heidi, very interesting topic today. Thank you as always. Just give us your social media details again.
Yes. It's Instagram at Greatness Coaching, and on Facebook it is at Greatness Coaching with Heidi M.
And you can also send us a message here at E-Radio if you want us to maybe talk about a specific topic. That's going to be interesting. Heidi, thank you as always. Already looking forward to next week, Wednesday, 2:00.
Thank you so much, Ian. Enjoy the rest of your week.
You too. Take care, Heidi.
Bye-bye.